Good morning, everybody. And how are you doing this fine morning? Yeah? All right, in a moment you'll have a chance to say little things to each other. But first, welcome. Welcome to First Universalist Unitarian Church. I'm Ann McIntosh. I'm a friend of this congregation, and I want to extend a warm welcome to everybody who is here on site and everybody who is joining online either in this present moment or at some other time. We encourage you all to stay afterward. We're going to go upstairs for our fellowship, congregating, gathering, sipping coffee, sorts of things. I hear there are games. There are games. And if you're not into games, that's okay. There will be some people who will be playing games. Let's see. Since 1858, UU Wausau has been a vital voice of liberal religion in this area. We are here an intentional, free, and inclusive community that invites and embraces everybody, regardless of who you are, what you are, where you are in your life's journey. If they accept me, they accept everybody. And between Sundays, you are invited and encouraged to participate in various events that happen during the week. If you link up with either Facebook, Instagram, if you make sure the church has your email address, they'll send you a newsletter that way. That's how I check out on what things are happening. Let's see. I'm taking a moment of personal privilege because I learned that it is easier to say sorry afterward than to ask permission. So, if you are one of those people who, like me, are distressed or perhaps angry about the state of things that are, let's say, just leave it at that, the state of things. If you're looking for some way to do something a little different and haven't yet heard, I invite you to go to the People's Union USA on your browser and look up and find out about this No Spending Friday. No money, exchanges, no credit for sure, and if you have to buy something, go local and use cash. No more said. The People's Union USA. I do have some other real announcements to make, though. Let's see, Community on Call is still seeking donations, particularly of those items that are listed in your bulletin, including new toothbrushes, toothpaste, hand warmers, and socks. Only those items that are listed. Let's see, the Family Radio's Help for the Homeless Hygiene Drive is happening now. There's information. Donations can be placed anywhere in the collection box by March 16, so we have a few weeks to remember to do that. Welcome also our financial donations. We have a minister's book club that has returned and is this Thursday going to be having a discussion of Sally Rooney's Intermezzo. Come and join the fun. And lastly, I would highlight the listening session that the Board of Trustees is having after our March 2nd service. So not this week, but March 2nd, the trustees are having a listening session during the community potluck. So that's a plug for the potluck, don't forget. And I'm sure they really want to hear what we have to say. And of course, even if you don't have anything to say, there's always good food when there's a church potluck. All right. I invite you to try a little thing with me. I've done it before. You can consider it either regrouping, now that we're sitting in this place, or you could think of it as taking in the holy, however works for you. Exhale, because we have to eliminate what's inside first. Exhale, and then draw in a breath. And just be at peace. Continue exhaling and breathing in. Set aside whatever junk you came with for the day. You can pick it up later or leave it here as you choose. And let's enter into this time, this special time together. think it's time for our chalice lighting. Would you take your bulletin where it has the chalice lighting, join me together as we speak, and hopefully it will be lit. We light this chalice for the light of truth, the warmth of love, the fire of commitment. We light this symbol of our faith as we gather together. Let's see. Did I forget? We did, yes. We were supposed to shake hands or greet each other and bump elbows before the chalice lighting. Let's do it now.
No, it's a total space.
We did. Well done on the chalice. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention was I have never been successful at getting this, well, actually the bell out there, but
It's a good bowl.
yeah. You're going to read face the box.
My opening words are from a fellowship in Harrisonburg. To face the world's darkness, a chalice of light. To face the world's coldness, a chalice of warmth. To face the world's terrors, a chalice of courage. To face the world's turmoil, a chalice of peace. So we gather today, this Sunday, to remember that which is of ultimate worth to us. We gather to shape worth, to worship. So may this chalice glow and fill our spirits, our hearts, and our lives. I invite you to open your hymnals to hymn number 347, Gather the Spirit. And as you can, rise in body or spirit.
This morning for our Time for Early Ages, I'd like to share a book from the I Am series. It's called I Am Courage, a Book of Resilience by Suzanne Verde, and the art is by Peter H. Reynolds. It begins, when there are challenges in front of me, when I feel unstable, like I might fall, and I think about turning back and giving up, when my mind tells me I can't. I look inside myself and find the strength that lives deep down, and I tell my mind, yes, I can. I have faith in what's possible. I accept the challenge and keep going. I move ahead, one breath at a time. I act with bravery. I am courage. I trust what my gut is telling me. I believe in myself. I can feel scared, but still carry on. I persevere, unlike our slides. I can tumble and still get up again. I am resilient. I can lean on those around me, and I am not afraid to ask for support. I can encourage another when there's doubt. I am uplifting. I can know there is no shame in sharing. I tell my story. I can step in when others are struggling. I know how to help. I can be the one to clear the way for somebody else. I am an example. When I feel uncertain and start to lose my balance, I find my center and gather my strength. I know what I am. I am courage. And I can keep going. And we can all keep going. We are strong. We are capable. We are important. We are courage. And we are triumphant. And that was our story for today. Youth are invited to remain in the sanctuary with their families for worship, and our preschoolers through 5th grade are invited downstairs to go learn about Norbert Chopik, and we might have a little surprise to brighten your day after service. So I invite you to join in singing our children's song to bless them on their way, and the words are printed in your order of service.
May peace surround you, may love surround you as you go, as you go, as you go on your way. May peace surround you, may love surround you as you go, as you go, as you go on your way.
We need a lot of courage these days. The meditation comes from Marnie Harmony. If on a starlit night, with the moon brightly shimmering, we stay inside and do not venture out, the evening universe remains a part of life we shall not know. If on a cloudy day with grayness infusing all and rain dancing rivers in the grass, if we stay inside and do not venture out, the stormy, threatening energy of the universe remains a part of life we shall not know. If on a frosty morning, dreading the chilling air before the sunrise, we stay inside and do not venture out, the awesome cold, quiet, and stillness of the dawn universe remains a part of life we shall not know. If throughout these grace-given days of ours, surrounded as we are by green life and brown death, hot pink joy and cold
gray pain and miracles, always miracles, if we stay inside ourselves and do not venture out. Then the fullness of the universe shall be unknown to us, and our locked hearts shall never feel the rush of worship. May we listen deeply for that still and small but brave and bold voice within that calls us to risk and reach, to open and emerge, to venture out into the newness waiting to be known. I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable and take a few moments of quiet reflection on our lives, the lives of this community, the lives of this nation. I invite you to open your hymnals to hymn number 95, Remain Seated. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere, more hope. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. More peace. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. Well, like Ian, I'm going to take advantage of having the pulpit and have an impromptu story for you before the offering. It's from a little book called, it's a meditation manual by Reverend Robert Walsh called Noisy Stones. And he writes, in the newspaper, there was a story about, now I'm never sure, there, I'm on now, right? Yes. I believe I've been on all this time. Okay, well, that's okay. So, in a newspaper, there was a story about a seminary professor in Kansas City who was put on trial by the Southern Baptists, accused of being a universalist. Well, it's no wonder they were suspicious. He had stated publicly in his belief that all people born into the world, were children of God. And as if that were not enough, he also supported the ordination of women. Whew, case closed, you'd think. Well, the professor denied the charges. I'm not a universalist, he said, and somehow he convinced them. After 4 hours of deliberation, they voted 21-11 to let him keep his job. Now, I confess to being a universalist. In fact, I am a universalist and a Unitarian, but I wonder if I were arrested and charged with being one, would there be enough evidence to convict me? Now, the Kansas City story proves that having what we consider the right beliefs is not enough. The professor believed that all people are brothers and sisters, that every person has a piece of the divine spark, that women are the equals of men in the sight of God, and that was not enough to bring in a guilty verdict. No. If they are going to pin Unitarian Universalism on me, they will have to be able to show that I participated in and supported a Universalist, a Unitarian congregation. That is the only way to be sure. Beliefs, no matter how noble, must be embodied in a living institution, or they will have no convicting power. Now, back to my very short reflection on this, I would like to think that if I looked at my checkbook or looked at someone else's checkbook or my charge card or debit card purchases, it would show where my heart and my time and my energy in the form of my money, where my heart and my mind and my energy are, at which altar I worship. And I hope there would be enough evidence to convict me. Don't want to be hitting that too hard, huh? But thank you for your gifts. Thank you, Margaret. It's been quite a month. Sarah Eileen Lawal writes, "Out of the flames of fear, we rise with courage of our deepest convictions to stand for justice, inclusion, and peace. Out of the flames of scrutiny, we rise to proclaim our faith with hope to heal a fractured and hurting world. Out of the flames of doubt, we rise to embrace the mystery, wonder, and awe of all there is and all that is yet to be. Out of the flames of hate, we rise with the force of love, love that celebrates our shared humanity, that celebrates our shared humanity. Out of the flames, we rise." Your air. Thank you again, Margaret. It's been quite a month, Ada. Yeah, quite a month. And airs like that give me the courage to go on. Courage, from the Latin word cor, like having a coronary. Oh dear. The center, the heart. The Old French, mon coeur, my heart, my love. The quality of mind or spirit that enables a person to face difficulties, danger, pain, uncertainty with firmness. Not necessarily without fear, but with firmness of one's conviction. Now, Aristotle, as with all the virtues he describes, one of my, that was about the third degree of philosophy that I took. The philosopher Aristotle tells us that courage is conditional. Courage ought to take place at the right time, to the right extent, directed toward the right person. Too much courage, well, that's bravado or recklessness. Too little courage, well, that's what my ethics professor would call moral wimpiness. True courage is measured, thoughtful. We need courage at times like these, all sorts of courage for our personal lives and our community lives, for our congregational lives, for the life of our nation. Now, in his book, War and the Soul, Edward Tick, a psychologist, characterizes a warrior this way. The ideal warrior, and see how much this describes you. The ideal warrior is assertive, active, and energized. He or she is clear-minded, strategic, and alert. A warrior uses both body and mind in harmony and cooperation. A warrior is disciplined. A warrior assesses both their own resources and skills and those arrayed against him or her. A warrior is a servant of civilization and its future, guiding, protecting, and passing on information and wisdom. A warrior is devoted to causes they judge to be more important and greater than their self or any personal relationship or gains. Having confronted death, a warrior knows how precious and fragile life is and does not abuse or profane it. Without being in the military, we may be a warrior in many aspects of our lives. And Tick concludes, a warrior's first priority is to protect life rather than destroy it. A warrior serves spiritual and moral principles which they place higher than their self. The role of warrior has a high, noble, and honorable status. What takes true courage is measured and thoughtful, and as our children's book tells us, we can feel scared. But we carry on. We can persevere. We can lean on those around us. Now, it also takes courage to admit being wrong. Catherine Schultz was a staff writer for the New Yorker magazine, and she was dubbed a wrongologist. And she talked about being wrong, and she warns us against error blindness, believing that at all times our beliefs perfectly reflect reality. Being absolutely sure we are in the right leads us to explain away those others, those folks who have the same facts as we do, but still disagree with us. Leads us to label those others as ignorant, idiots, or evil. Being right makes us feel smart, responsible, strong, virtuous, safe, but Schultz reminds us our capacity to screw up is totally fundamental to whom we are. And as one of my nursing supervisors once asked me, I think, I wrote here a new recruit, but that was probably me, whoever told you that you would always be right? She probably asked some of the doctors at our little hospital about that too. To say, I was wrong, takes courage in our personal lives, in our professional lives, in the life of our nation. Courage is to admit to our frailty. Our health, our safety, our lives come with no guarantee. We are vulnerable to a host of ills of body and mind and spirit. Courage faces that fragility, those weaknesses. Courage faces a new day. And as a wise woman once shared with me, it helps her greatly upon arising to think some positive thought before the reality of her 90-year-old aching bones or weary heart clamor for attention. Many kinds of courage are needed. For example, for the first time in my life, I actually wrote a letter to the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, asking him to do his job. Whoa, what chutzpah. Oh well, that's a personal story. Here's another story. And this story starts at least 40 years ago. It's the story of Reverend Carlton Pearson. Back in the 70s and 80s, Reverend Pearson was a young man, a rising evangelical minister, a gospel vocalist, one of only 2 black ministers on national television. He preached at revivals, sang in evangelical Christian concerts, was the guest speaker at national conferences, and he was the anointed black son of charismatic Christian Pentecostal televangelist, some of you may remember Oral Roberts. Oral Roberts died, about 15 years ago. And Reverend Pearson's Higher Dimensions Evangelistic Center had thousands of members. It's amazing going to a church where there are thousands of people. Reverend Pearson talks about growing up in a black neighborhood of San Diego. All the men in his family were either clergy or convicts. And at church, folks spoke in tongues, were slain in the spirit, cast out devils. Pearson tells us, I expected devils and demons. They were as large to me as God. And then, just like that, Reverend Pearson was involved in a scandal. Not sex, not drugs, not fraud. Reverend Pearson stopped believing in hell. Another one of those universalists. Turns out that in 2001, Pearson made a trip to Africa. He saw babies and little children suffering from illness, malnourished, missing limbs, dying, caught in the middle of war and famine and pestilence. Now, these children were not Christian, and by his religion's teaching, they were not saved. They could not be saved, not being baptized. But in Pearson's words, he received an epiphany from God. An epiphany, a message, a letter, a clear message that hell is on this earth, not in the afterlife, and hell is created by human depravity and human behavior. Well, he was not as lucky as that other minister. In 2006, tried by a group of his peers, the College of African American Pentecostal Bishops, Pearson was declared a heretic. Many of his parishioners left his church, and those who remained thought, well, maybe I was wrong about this heaven-hell thing, and they stayed. And Pearson preached to them his gospel of inclusion, first at his own church, and then when it went bankrupt, at All Souls Unitarian Church in Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you ever have the privilege of attending there, it's an amazing, amazing congregation in the Bible Belt. Reverend Pearson held the courage of his convictions. A courage comes in all different forms. Our hymn, number 172, is out of South Africa, and its people's fight for liberation. Let me get a little saliva here. Sifa mandla kosi, wo kunge sabi, sifa mandla kosi, siyawa dinga. Oh God, give us power to rip down prisons. Oh God, give us power to lift up people. Oh, give us the courage to withstand hatred. Oh, give us the courage not to be bitter. Sifa manda kosi, wo kunge sabi, sifa manda kosi, siyawa dinga. O God, give us power and make us fearless. O God, give us power because we need it. Well, many kinds of courage, awesome kinds and everyday kinds. And what does it mean to be a courageous person today? Well, good glory. Someday it takes courage just to get out of bed and face another day. Face the sadness or the pain, the grief, the cravings, the disappointment. It takes all kinds of courage to face the day. Personal courage, everyday courage, awesome. Political, powered by the courage of our convictions. And so what holds us back, what holds us down, and each of us has our own answer to those questions. But I'm here to tell you that who you are matters. How you live your life matters. You matter. In the great scheme of things, you still matter. How you live your life matters in the tapestry of life we all create together. I truly believe this. We all matter. Well, another one of our discredited heroes, Garrison Keillor. Many of you might have remember him from National Public Radio. His story about powder milk biscuits. Garrison Keillor was a long-time storyteller on radio. Now, those biscuits gave you the powder milk biscuits, that baking powder gave you the courage to rise up, just like the powder milk biscuits. Those biscuits aren't literal, of course. Whatever gives us the courage to go on. It's another answer we need to find out on our own and collectively. But those producing actions, those thoughts, those people, are the powder, the baking powder, the power, really, in those powder milk biscuits that give us the strength to go out and do what needs to be done. Those actions, those people, those ideals and ideas deserve our thought and our time and our energy. So many kinds of courage, awesome kinds and everyday kinds. Still, courage is courage, whatever kind. Whether it's starting over, holding on to your dream, giving up your dream, having to say goodbye. It takes courage to listen to the news these days. And sometimes I feel it takes my courage to say, I can't listen today. I'll hear about it tomorrow. Pedaling that bike off into the unknown. It takes courage. Now, my final little story is, if you've ever had privilege, I don't know up here if you get some of the CBC programs. I know you do because we were watching them last night. But back a ways, there was another, what I consider fine philosopher, a Canadian philosopher. His name was Red Green. Red Green is some of you know him. Red Green is a middle-aged guy. He wears an old fishing hat, a lot of lures stuck in it. He's got a plaid flannel shirt, red suspenders, and he lives in the town of Possum Lodge. And Red Green tells us, keep your stick on the ice. Now, probably some of you know about hockey. You need to keep that stick on the ice in order to get that puck into the goal, into where you want it to be. If you've watched hockey recently, you know some of those people were not keeping their sticks on the ice. They were kind of swinging around with sticks and hands. And doing that can hurt not only you, but will hurt others. So keep your stick on the ice. Keep your eye on the puck, on the goal, and how you're going to get to where you want to be. We're going to spend couple, 3-4 years doing that. Get to that place of justice, inclusion, peace, and love. And as Red Green would tell us at the end of every show, remember, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together. You matter. We as a community of love and justice matter. With many kinds of courage and encouragement, awesome kinds and everyday kinds, courage is what we give each other. And remember, I'm pulling for you and you and you and you and you and you and you. And this place and our being here and being together. Courage is what we give each other. May it be so, may we make it so. Blessed be, and amen. Our closing hymn is number 6, Just as Long as I Have Breath. And now may the longtime sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure, pure light that's within you guide your way home. May the longtime sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure, pure light that's within you. The musicians around you, if you know, guide your way home. May the longtime sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure, pure light that's within you guide your way home. May the longtime sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure, pure light that's within you guide your way home. Go in peace and love and strength and courage. You may be seated.